Matt, you ready? Okay, we'd like to get started and welcome our 2022 winner of the Memorial Championship presented by Workday. Billy, congratulations. It's your 7th victory on the PGA Tour. Just get some things out of the way. You moved to number 10 in the FedEx Cup rankings. You're number 8 in the President's Cup standing, and I know that's important to you. And you moved to 11th in the official World Golf ranking. So a lot of great stuff coming out of this week. I mean, wow, what a day. You got close there for a little while, I'm sure, but just talk about particularly that bomb you made for the eagle, but I think the putt earlier may have been more important, the par save at 13, I think it was.
Yeah, today I knew starting off with a 5-shot lead, I know if I lose it, everyone's going to say I'm going to choke. I'm very aware of what people say, whether it's on social media, whether it's in media, they're going to question what I did, but I'm not one of those guys that tries to sort of block it out. It is what it is. You just try to address it and move on from it. I think today, knowing the golf course, knowing how it was going to be fast and firm again, it was knowing the pin locations. I didn't have to do anything special out there. I've got a 5-shot lead. I've played great the last 3 days. I've just got to go out there and continue to execute golf shots and try not to do anything special, try not to do anything stupid that would allow guys to sort of come back into the fold. And I felt like I played a really great round of golf today. Nothing special. Aaron played solid. Aaron made some great putts out there for pars, made some great birdie putts. But I think obviously that turning point there was right around 13. He makes bogey, I make par. That 3-shot lead is back and established. Then I decided to hit a putt too hard for the first time all week on number 14, left myself with a 10-footer. And to make that putt to continue with that 3-shot lead going with the par 5 was just another added boost. And then to make eagle, icing on the cake, Aaron just hit a great shot in there, so that lead is down to 2. And if I don't 2-putt that, it's down to 2 instead of a 3-shot lead. And like I said, icing on the cake to make the eagle, to have a 4-shot lead with 3 very tough holes out here, knowing that I didn't have to do anything special, and Aaron had to do something special to try and track me down. So really a great round of golf. I'm very happy with the way Fuch and I played today. We just were within ourselves. We never, got too flustered, never worried too much. Just went out there and tried to play a solid round of golf, and we did a really good job of that today.
Okay, we've got a few questions lined up, but just raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you, but we'll start over here with Rob and then Tom.
Well, you talked about taking more 10, 15 seconds over shots, just trying to be a little more patient. Is that all shots, including the putts? Is your mindset change when you're looking at those 11 foot, for par?
No, it's more or less into the greens, hitting shots into greens. There's times when Fuch, for the last 2 weeks, and I've always had this issue in my career, when Fuch gives me a number to the pin, I sort of already know what kind of club I'm going to hit, roughly. I process things very quickly, and sometimes with that, I'm not thorough enough with it at times. And so just this week, we try to get back to what we've done majority of the year, which has allowed us to play very well, and just making sure we have a very clear understanding of where we're trying to land the golf shot, where the wind is, the type of shot we're looking at, making sure if, I think it was a perfect example. I'm trying to think of a hole today, but we thought it was, maybe a 3/4 7-iron, and that's what we had at first, and we went to the 8-iron because it was just allowed us to have a little bit more room for error.
And Tom,
Hey, Jack.
Hey, you got to put up with me for a few more minutes.
No worries.
Go ahead, Tom.
Billy, how special was that celebration on the green with your family?
Yeah, it's sort of a running joke in our family that my wife and my kids have never been at a victory, and my wife's never wanted to fly in on a Saturday night when I've had a chance to win. So she feels like she may be, bring bad luck or something, so she's never really wanted to do that. I had a chance to win Bay Hill this year. My family was there. They were right there on 18 green as I was walking up. Had a chance to make a putt to go in a playoff with Scotty Scheffler. But I've just always wanted that one moment, and where my family runs out, the kids run out, that I can always look back for many years to come, and they can look back at, for their entire life of being on the green and congratulating their father for a victory. And so it's special to have that video and those photos for the rest of our lives.
Okay, well, just interrupt and just say
You know,
welcome.
this is a memorial tournament. We'll own that footage. You'll have to buy it.
We'd like to say welcome to tournament host and founder, Mr. Jack Nicholas. Jack,
Is there another tour I can go play where I don't have to worry about that?
Please pay no attention.
just to get a comment from you, Jack, you said out on the putting green at the ceremony there that Billy made the putts when he had to. He started with a 5-shot lead, it got down to within one, and you said that's a sign of a champion.
Well,
can you just elaborate on that?
I think that, you know, through the years, I've seen how I won tournaments, and I didn't always have my A game tee to green and trying to finish up. But if I was going to win, I had to make the putts I had to make when I got myself a little behind it. Now, Billy held a nice birdie putt at 10, a nice little par putt at 11.
Bogey putt at 12.
You made a nice bogey putt at 12. But when you were in the bunker at 12, they were saying on television, and I said, don't even think about 3. He'll be very happy to get out of there with 4. The one thing he doesn't want to make is 5. And then 13, you hit your tee shot off to the right, and then you pitched it out and played a nice wedge shot or whatever you played. Is that a wedge?
Yep.
And you hold a great putt for that putt. And then 14, you hit the first putt, knock it by the hole, made it coming back. Then 15, you hold the ball, played 2 beautiful shots. It's one of only probably about 10 guys that hit that green today. Right in the bottom of the cup. I don't know if there are any other eagles today. Maybe one, I'm not sure.
There was an albatross today, actually.
Oh, wow.
Oh, was there 2 there today?
It was number 7. But on that 15, I don't know how many there were.
I don't know.
Cameron Smith eagled 15.
He did eagle it. Yeah, he did just before, just.
Ross Kate won 7.
7.
Yeah, okay. And so anyway, he does that, and then 16. I'm sitting there saying, they say, what? They asked me on television, what kind of shot should he play? As if he'd be in the first 1/3 of the green. He's going to just put it somewhere on the front part of the green, let him 2-putt, which he did. He hit it exactly what I thought he should hit. A nice tee shot at 17. He got it. I guess you were down the left front of the green.
Yeah, I hit a 6-iron through the green.
Oh, through the green.
Yeah, in the back left bunker
Oh, you hit the bunker. That's right. Then you
Yeah.
knocked it out what?
to 8 feet and missed the
Oh,
putt.
see,
Just left it
that's
out.
when I walked down. I figured you were going to win it from there.
I figured I was going to
You
win
won
it
that.
too.
You made that putt too.
I just missed it.
Oh, you missed that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I missed the putt today.
You did miss one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then of course he played 18 perfectly. So, he did what he had to do. He played nice golf shots. I think he was number 1 in greens and hit in regulation for the week. At least that's what we had upstairs. He may have been number 1 in putting too, and I look at putting as you make putts when you have to make putts, not putts that you just, you're in the middle of the pack and you hold some nice putts. That's not what counts. What counts is you make them when you made them. And that to me, that's the mark of a champion. And then those are the guys that win tournaments, and you did that and you won.
Okay, we appreciate that. We'll jump back into the questions. We'll start here and then slide across to Steve.
Billy, how hard is it to win on the PGA Tour, and have you earned kind of a greater appreciation for the grit, the grind that it takes, given you've been a while between wins? Has that given you a greater understanding that this is a pretty special win for me today?
I think any win's special out here. Yes, it is tough to win on the PGA Tour, but I've looked. I love watching golf. As I've said for many years, I probably watch more golf than any PGA Tour player. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but things I've watched. I've watched Tiger and how he closes out events, and I wasn't born yet in Jack's heyday when he was winning, but when I watched old footage, you watched how he plotted his way around the golf course. He took a lead, and he made sure he was never giving up shots back to the guys. So I have a very good understanding of how to win golf tournaments. Have I put myself there a lot? No, but I think my record's pretty good when I do have a chance to win and closing out events. So you realize the value of par means a lot on a Sunday, especially when you're around the lead or leading a tournament. And so I'm a guy who loves grinding it out. I'm a guy who doesn't mind if it's not pretty. As long as it gets the ball in the hole with the least amount of shots, that's all that matters. And the day I start off feeling good about my swing, and then sort of probably the tee shot on the iron shot on 12 fell a little off, and then from there it was like, okay, we're just going to grind this out and figure out a way to get the ball in the hole as quickly as we can, and I do that very well, I feel like.
Okay, we'll go Steve, Rex, and then Doug.
Billy, what does this do for you heading to the country club, and what is your schedule en route to Boston?
I've always felt like U.S. Open venues and the way they set them up, favors me very well. I know my only top 10 in a major is in the U.S. Open. Obviously, my major record is pretty abysmal, but I feel very confident with what we've done over the last 2 years, and like I said, results don't always show, but going to a U.S. Open, understanding you got to drive the ball really well. That's one thing I do very well. And you got to make putts, and I'm a really good putter inside 10 feet. So two things that are crucial to play well at a U.S. Open Championship. I think, I check the boxes off with that. So this course is very U.S. Open-like with how firm and fast the greens are. The fairways are a little bit more generous than maybe we're going to see at a U.S. Open, but it's a very second shot-oriented golf course. And you got to be able to control your iron play. And obviously, U.S. Opens, you got to have very good control of your iron play into greens when they get very firm and very fast, and land them exactly where you're trying to on the green to stay on the green, but also have a legitimate chance of making a birdie. So I'm very comfortable with where my game's at this point. As always, I'm a perfectionist, and I'm not happy with not swinging it very well today the way I would love to, but I'm just going to take next week off, and I'll fly up Sunday morning and check out Brookline for the first time. I haven't been there. I've never been there. I've watched it in '99, and my wife played in a member guest last year, so she has more insight on the golf course than I do.
We'll go Rex, and then Doug.
Billy, he mentioned at the start where this moves you in the FedEx Cup and the world ranking. Have you thought about where it might move you on the U.S. points list for the President's Cup team and what that might mean to you to make your first team?
No, I don't really focus on the Ryder Cup and points list or President Cup points list. I've always felt like if I can just take care of my own business, then I'll have a chance of making a team, whether it's on points or being a captain's pick. And I think for the last decade plus now, I've been close to making a Ryder Cup or President's Cup team, and I just haven't played very well. The last few months leading up to the selection of the team. So I know there's still a long ways to go. There's still three and a half months left of the season, 4 months until the selection's taking place, and I'm just going to go out there and still try and just play really good golf, and hopefully if I play good golf, then everything sort of falls in line. That's always been my mentality and my focus.
Quick follow-up, Rex.
This is back-to-back weeks for guys who work with Horschel. What does he bring to the table for you guys?
Horschel's unbelievable. Mark's been on my team since 2014. First year he comes on the team, we win the FedEx Cup. As you know, he's very English and he's very blunt. And we had a conversation before he joined my team about, my record on the PGA Tour and things I didn't do well. And he was very blunt on how well that my short game wasn't very good, and I had stone hands. So this week I've showed him finally that I have a short game that can sort of, live up to the golf course and save me at times. But he just is a guy who, which I love, and what he does, he just tells me, where I need to be on the holes, what holes, where guys are making bogeys, where the birdies are coming from, perfect way for me to plot my way around the golf course. And that's what I love to do. I just love to put my ball here, put the ball there, and he just backs me up with that data that he's given me for the last 8 years. And more or less, he knows it, and I've told him this for the last year and a half, and we joke about it. He's a great friend of mine now, and he doesn't need to be on my team anymore. We have the data. I've been coming to all these events for so many years. I know how to plot my way around the golf course, but he's another safety blanket for me. When things aren't going very well, he looks at some stuff and he tells me, hey, we need to do this better, we need to do that. So, now the data is just sort of, the same every year. Sure, when the wind blows a little bit different, it can change, but he's a safety blanket that is there, that if I'm doing things well, he can back it up, and when I'm not doing things well, he's English, and he tells me very bluntly that I'm not doing things very well right now.
Okay, we'll go Doug, and then Ben.
I think your best U.S. Open finish was Marion. Do you still have those octopus pants?
I do yes, I still have those octopus pants somewhere in my house.
Couple things, Billy. Clubs, the shot you hit on 10, what club was that, and also 15?
That was 9-iron. We had 168, I think, that carried the bunker out of the first cut, downwind. The shot on number 9 jumped. I was in the first cut and jumped out there. We thought it was going to come out spinning and jumped and went to the back of the green. So similar lie on number 10, and we just played for a little bit of a jumper. And I told Fooch, I'm just going to play, middle of the green, 7, 8, 9 yards left of the flag. And I got over the ball, and I just couldn't get myself to aim far enough left. And I just kept wanting to go towards the flag. And I just said, okay, well, I'm just going to aim it maybe a yard left of the flag and try and hit a little cut in there. And I pushed it a little bit, and Fooch is like, he just sort of gave me a little hard time. He said, I knew you were going to go at the flag. I knew you couldn't get yourself to aim far enough left. And then on 15, you said 15, that was 5-wood in there. It was a perfect 5-wood, 241 front, 244 5-hole. We had the wind just a slight in off the left, which is perfect for me. Just try and start in the middle of the bunker and just hit like a little bit of a cut and let the wind just sort of take it back to the pin. And I mean, it was just a beautiful shot that I hit.
And then if you look back over the last 15 months, we've seen you have hot stretches before, like into 14, et cetera, but you've knocked off 3 pretty strong fields now in 15 months. What does that do for your confidence? Where did that come from?
I think what it does for my confidence is that it shows that what we're doing at home and what we're doing on a weekly basis, we're doing the right things. I've said this for many years now. You work hard at the game, you try and do the right things, and sometimes the results don't always come to fruition right away. And it takes a little bit of time. And some guys, if they're not seeing the results right away, they change. They change teachers, they change what they're doing. They sort of give up on the process. I'm not. I believe in the process that my team, that we have put in place. And I believe that we prep better than anyone, on a weekly basis. But that doesn't mean we're going to always play well on a weekly basis. It just gives us a better opportunity to succeed, though. And so this is just, I feel like it's been a long time coming, and it's nice to finally see the results for myself, but it's nice to finally see the results for my teacher, Todd Anderson, who's been with me since 2008. He works his butt off, and, we're always trying to get better. And, Mark Horton, he's been on my team since 2014. Fooch joined the team, pretty much a year ago last year. And so everyone, from my trainer and my physio, we're always working hard, and I do probably work my team pretty hard. I'm a hard worker myself, and sometimes, they get a little tired because I want to just keep pushing and keep going forward, but they all understand it's all for the betterment of the team, and hopefully gives us the best chance to be victorious, and it's great to have 3 wins in roughly the last 15 months.
Time for a few more. We'll go Ben, Dave, and then Brandon.
Just off what Doug said there, those 3 wins, obviously elevated event over there, WGC, you've got a FedEx Cup, but you mentioned your major record. Do you find yourself fairly rated, underrated? How do you sort of gauge where you sit in the world of golf?
You asked me to talk about myself, and that's not something I like to do, but
I'll answer that one for him. I don't think Billy cares where he's rated. As long as he keeps playing well and gets the results, then the ratings will take care of themselves, just like money and FedEx points and everything else will take care of themselves.
correct.
Can I go to my actual question?
Sorry.
I'll go to the actual question. You mentioned Fooch obviously coming on. Can you just, all caddies have their plus, their minus, different things, quirks, whatever, but what specifically has he brought to your game over those 12 months?
I mean, Fooch is one of the best caddies, if not the best caddy in the business, in my opinion. He's been doing it for 30 years, maybe 20 years on the LPGA, and for the last 15, 18 years, on the PGA Tour and European Tour, and he's had some unbelievable players. So he brings a level of experience, and he's seen what the best players, whether it be LPGA or the PGA Tour, have done to be successful. And so he just brings that extra little bit of added knowledge. He brings that comfort to me on the golf course that, we're always going to make sure we're trying to do the right things. And he's always got my back, and I've got his back. And I can be hard. I'm not going to lie. I can be a little bit of a, whatever word you want to use, out in the golf course at times when things aren't going well. But he's great because it doesn't faze him. And I think I've always said I need a caddy who's really thick-skinned. and has a great sense of humor because I like to bust chops, and he likes to, do the same thing, and he gives it back to me. So, I have 2 guys on my team that are very English, and I love the English culture, and I love the English people. And so I gravitate towards them because, they work hard, they take themselves serious, but away from whether work or competition, they like to have a good time. And so Fuchs has been a tremendous asset, and when he came on the team last year, we had spells where he was working for me in that COVID year, and I was trying to pull him off Francesco Molinari's bag, and it took me a little longer than I wanted, but finally wore him down. But he was that missing puzzle piece for the team. I felt that we all felt that we needed, and it just goes to show you how important he's been to his team to have the victories we've had the last 15 months.
A couple of quick ones to wrap. We'll go Dave and then Brendan.
Yeah, you mentioned something earlier about you didn't really have your swing today, and I wanted to ask you a confidence question for maybe that side, which is, winning when it's a little harder, when you don't have your quote-unquote A game or not quite, it's not quite all there.
Yeah, I've won events without my A game. I won match play against Scotty Scheffler without playing great. I feel like the only round that I played really great at, well, 2 rounds would have been the last round at Tour Championship, and then the Zurich Classic first victory where I shot 64 that final round and played really great. But I'm not phased when things aren't going great. I'm not phased when I'm not hitting it well. I know I have other shots I can go to get the job done. And I know I have a really reliable putter that can always, back me up and will always save me if I'm just a little bit off. So, yeah, it adds confidence when you're not playing well, is when you feel like you're not swinging great to get the job done. But like I said, I've done it before, and it's not shocking to me.
And we'll wrap it up with Brendan. Go ahead, Brendan.
Billy, you talked about kind of sticking it out in those years after 14 and, sticking with the same teacher, et cetera, blah, and trusting what you were doing. Can you describe was it difficult to do that as more and more new players came on the scene and this kind of wave of young talent, and here you are getting older and suddenly get into your mid-30s? Like, how hard was that to say, like, where do I kind of fit in this pecking order?
Yeah, I think, as I've said before, sometimes people aren't aware of what's going on off the golf course. 14 was a great year. I played great and come out in 15, and I started off 15 very well and didn't play great at the end of the year. And, unfortunately, as we have talked about now, I was dealing with stuff at home. My wife was, unfortunately at the time addicted to alcohol, and we had to address that. And we addressed it in 16, and, it took just a few, I would say 6 months to a year to, just where she was in a place that she was very happy with, and I felt comfortable with her. We had a newborn baby at home at the same time. There's just a lot of stuff at home that just people won't realize that sort of sometimes takes focus away. It didn't take any of the hard work and process away, but it just, just something you else got to deal with, just like anyone else in everyday life. But yeah, I mean, you win the FedEx Cup in 14, you think everything's going to just take off, and it doesn't. And some of that's my own fault too, because I'm a perfectionist, and I felt like, hey, I can do this better, my golf swing. Or you start trying to chase distance, and you get away from what you do well as a player. And that's why I have a team around me to make sure we're always getting back into where we need to be. And like I said, I worked hard, and it just wasn't happening. And I didn't change teachers. A lot of guys would have changed teachers. Todd and I are great friends, and I knew we were doing the right things. It just wasn't materializing. So, yeah, it's like any player, when things aren't going well, you look at what other guys are doing, and you're like, some guys get down. For me, I kick myself in the butt. I'm like, that should be me, and it pushes me to work harder and to strive to be better. And sometimes it's a detriment, because sometimes I push myself too hard, and I've just got to be aware of where I am at that time. And I think now, at the age of 35, I'm very aware of where I am in the game of golf and what I need to do and focus on, and not worry about some other stuff that I can't control.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you being gracious with your time, Billy.
Thanks, Mark.
Congratulations on the great victory. Mr. Nicholas, thanks for being a wonderful host again, as usual. We appreciate that, and thanks for everybody for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good stuff, man.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep. Thank you, Nicholas. Appreciate it. Great tournament. Hey,
Okay, we're gonna head up.
things up here.